Okay, this is reinforcement video number 2. The question was asking you to use the even-odd identities to choose a statement that is equivalent to the secant of -45. So remember, your even and odd identities always involve the opposite of the angle. So in this case, we're looking at the -45 as our angle. So when we're using an even-odd identity, we would be evaluating for just 45, the opposite. And the function, the trig function, is always the same with even-odd identities, so it would still be secant. If the function that you're using is even, then those two things would have to be equal. And our even functions are cosecant and secant. Our odd functions are pretty much everything else: tangent, cotangent, sine, and cosecant. So in this case, secant is an even function, so the secant evaluated for the angle would be equal to the secant evaluated for its opposite. So secant of 45 would be the correct answer here. Take a look at this one. Remember, with even and odd functions, you use the same trig function, so you should recopy that. And you always use the opposite of the angle. And then you determine if they should be equal or opposite depending on whether they are even functions or an odd function. So in this case, we would have repeated cosecant. The angle would become the opposite. And because cosecant is an odd function, these two things have to be opposites. So one of them needs a negative. So now you can try reinforcement question number 2.